Warning, the following video contains footage of animals being hunted and killed. If that makes you uncomfortable, try to take it as an opportunity to grow. This is Gordon from Northeast Experience, and this is Andrew and Grant from The Bald Chef, and this is a group of enthusiastic people enjoying a brilliant workshop focused on butchering and cooking wild game meat. And so the question is, how do all of these people fit together, and where do I come into the mix? Well, to get an answer, we have to rewind back a little bit. A few months ago, I received a call and invitation from my mate Gordon to come out hunting sambar with him in the northeast of Victoria at the top of the high country. Gordon is a fantastic sambar hunting guide with wisdom and knowledge to share, and so it'd be insane for me to pass up the opportunity. During that call, Gordon also mentioned that if I was keen, there was a weekend coming up where two guys, Andrew and Grant, were running a game harvest and cooking workshop on his property, and they were going to need a sambar to be used for the butchering and cooking demonstrations. So it was the perfect opportunity to sneak in a great hunt, meet and make some new friends who had shared passions, as well as help a group of enthusiastic and hungry people learn how to cook wild game meat, feeding them beautiful, clean, organic meat that I had provided in the process. So of course I said yes. When the day came to leave, I packed up all my gear and made the lengthy drive up to the Alpine, just a gorgeous area of Australia and Victoria. Strong, stout mountains that bellow from their peaks, a challenge to anyone who would try and conquer them, interspersed with rolling, lush green hills, blanketed with wispy cloud cover and sweet country air. It's honestly one of the most beautiful parts of Australia you can visit or hunt in. So I arrived, set up my king-size swag, and just enjoyed the beauty that surrounds Gordon's property. The warmth of the last fading light, the joyful sounds of the rainbow trout jumping in the dam, and the evening insects waking up. The next morning I got up early and met Gordon for a quick cup of ginger tea at his house, and we were off to pick up Andrew and Grant, who will be joining us for the hunt. And hunt we did.
I can't forget my knife again. I forgot it yesterday.
You forgot your knife.
I'm all over the shop. Welcome to the infamous Red Rocket.
I was just about to say, she's got a bit of character when she's idling. Sounds like a 60-year-old smoker.
So there's a few deer around there, right?
If you don't see a deer, something wrong with you.
Plenty of things wrong with it.
Cheers. All right.
Good luck, boys.
The plan was for Andrew and Grant to hunt from the lower farm fringeland, slowly making their way towards the face of the mountain, glassing for sambar as they went. Meanwhile, Gordon and I would start at a much higher elevation, entering the zone through a blackberry thicket a couple of kilometres to the east, that then feeds into the side of the mountain. We would then slowly contour across the face, glassing down. The aim was to put pressure on the deer from both sides, and hopefully one of us would get a shot, and the other crew could then assist with the carry-out.
I find it's, they've got a habit of just, even though they've got this farmland up on top here, they still feed down to the flats and come back up. So
Really? That's interesting that they would not choose to take the mid option.
route,
Yeah.
Just different grasses and stuff that grow down lower. Get busted, go
On the draw.
as you're popping around the burial. Perfect sander conditions.
Yeah.
Fairly fresh prints coming down the mountain. Looks like it possibly could have been last night. Oh.
What makes you think that? The fact that it's not covered?
Yeah, that grass is, still, that looks very, very fresh. I'd say that was last night probably. That wind's blowing up. Just give it 5 and see what it does.
What do you think is the relationship between deer and dogwood?
Yeah, they love it.
Yeah.
It blocks a lot of wind out.
Yeah.
I've never really looked into where dogwood grows, if that particular gully's protected by the wind or something, but
Yeah.
or whether it's just the dogwood that protects them. From the wind.
Yeah.
But they hate wind.
Yeah.
Sambar hate wind.
Always trying to get out of it.
Yep. A windy day, if you can find a quiet gully, you'll find the deer.
Yeah.
Do you find it easy to distinguish between fallow and sambar?
Yeah.
What's the difference?
Bigger. Sambar bigger.
I thought that was the answer. I thought there might be a better one.
Learning how to find, read, and follow deer prints is one of the most productive ways to find deer, in my opinion, especially sambar, who have large territories and zones of movement. A folded blade of grass embedded in a print, how wet the dirt is, how worn the structure is, how deep it is, all of these indicators tell you a story about the deer's movement. And that morning we were following along every page, reading every line. There were deer here, and we just had to be patient and we would find them.
Once we get over another 300 metres or something, we'll move back around and come back through this stuff up here.
We won't send all this out.
No, because that wind's just coming straight towards us, so as long as it stays like that, we should be fine.
But they're really deep.
That ground is very soft, so it could be that they might not be spooked. The wind's been perfect for us, so I don't think we have spooked these deer. Could just be that the ground's soft. Well, we've just followed some really fresh tracks, like 20 metres back, and Kipper was smelling the ground. And Kipper pushed on about, 10, 20 metres, and he was scenting down. See it there? See it walking. And Kipper was scenting like hard downhill, so the wind's coming up in our face, which is perfect. I said, Chris, there'll be a deer there, you watch this, and sure enough, we've picked up 2 or 3 down there. Looks like a young spiker, doesn't it? Yeah. Young spiker and probably a couple of hinds maybe. We're going to set up for a shot. Straight down through there. There's a big tree. Yeah, straight down. See moving. There's at least 4 there. See one through the trees there. At the end of this, see this dead stick here. That's only a calf, I think. There's a calf and a hind. There's a spiker and a hind down there.
Alright, we're about to get to the good bit, but before we do, let me take 60 seconds to tell you about Australia's best hunting club. I think you're going to want to hear about it. Then we'll get right back to the content and you can find out what happened.
Let's be real for a second. It can be really difficult for hunters who don't have other friends who are hunters and who aren't involved in a community of hunters that can help shape them and grow them and challenge them. And it's for that reason that I'm a member of the Australian Hunters Club and why I want to invite you to join. As well as your standard club benefits like hunting insurance and your genuine reason to own a firearm, our club also offers free member hosted hunts and access to private property, monthly guided hunt and gear giveaways, gear discounts, events, and a bunch more. But more important than all of those things, we are a tight community of passionate and optimistic hunters committed to growing and supporting each other through honest relationships and mentorship. And we also love feeding our families clean and organic meat. It doesn't matter what hunting style you prefer or what game you like to hunt, we are a diverse community and accept all hunters. And so if that sounds like a community that you want to be involved in, I want to personally invite you to become a member of the Australian Hunters Club. Care deeper, hunt harder, and grow together.
Okay, back to the content.
Just here.
The issue was that I couldn't get a clean shot on the sambar spiker. Shooting through the brush could potentially wound the animal, putting it through unnecessary pain, or even leading to it getting away and dying somewhere alone. I wasn't going to let that happen, even if it meant missing out on the deer altogether. But My patience was rewarded, and after repositioning a third time, I finally got my shot.
Nailed it. Yeah, went down like a sack of potatoes.
Yeah. What we got there?
Can you see it? Can you see it? No, I can't see it. I can't see it. It's the fallen tree. I can't see the fallen tree. Look through the crosshairs. Oh yeah, I see it. I can't get a shot. No, you can't now. Oh, that was hilarious. Sorry, mate.
No, don't apologise.
I wanted to make sure I got it. And
See that as soon as we came over that crest there, Kipper was just literally, he just started scenting downhill and was just basically on point. And I said, there'll be a deer there.
Yeah.
Sure enough, 4 or 5 of them. So you had a pretty good scent.
Good job, mate.
Sometimes it's hard to communicate or express the magic of a hunt, either to someone who wasn't there or someone who's never been hunting. A hunt contains so many moving pieces, constantly and dynamically shifting in and around you. The smell of a deer, the sight of its tracks, the feeling of the wind on your skin. All of these elements and more demanding and drawing on your attention and focus. I like to think of it like a dance between you and the animal that you are hunting, with the environment splendidly decorated as the stage that you perform on. Add to that dance a clever and capable dog whose senses far outperform your own, and a guide who expertly has danced the dance so many times, knows the steps and can lead you forward, and you've got yourself a performance worth watching. I'm not gonna lie, I was the awkward dance partner in this routine. The Sambar stag was graceful, hidden, silent and clever, and Gordon was a fantastic instructor, patient, clear with his instructions and full of praise when I succeeded, pulling off the end of the routine. But we all have to stumble before we can walk, and there is no better way than hunting with someone who knows the area and the behaviour of the animals within it.
You happy?
Always happy when clients and mates have success, so it's good.
You know what? When you said he's about to run, that put the fire in my guts, and I was like, all right.
Oh, I just spotted it, like just those ears just bang, and I'm like,
Yeah.
we're about to get busted, so
I'm about to get honked
you better hurry up.
and then bailed. Yeah. What happened was Kipper, the little legend, was on point, and we were at the top of this gully, and he was pointing. We knew there was something down there, and we kind of just slowly made our way, like half the speed that you kind of want to go, and half of that, and just kept glassing every few steps. And sure enough, the sharp-eyed Gordon saw a bunch down there. There was probably 4 or 5. There was a calf with a hind, this spiker, and some other ones down there. And I just couldn't see them.
I think you had your scope too high.
I did. I had the scope on like 10 or something, and I'm not.
Field of view is just too small.
It's just too small, and I was nervous with I'm like, put the binos away and wanted to just get the shot. And Gordon kept saying, like, there's the broken tree, the fallen tree. It's just from there. Could you see him? And I could see one. I could see the arse end of the hind, and I could see the calf, but I couldn't see the spiker. And we repositioned. Honestly, that was the longest setup for a shot that I've ever done. And luckily, the wind was just perfect. So we had all the time in the world. We repositioned, and then I spotted the spiker, and Gordon was like, yeah, he's about to go. You need to take that shot. And so, yeah, I did. Took a shot. He's beautiful.
All in a matter of 30 seconds or so.
Yeah, it was very, very quick. Very, very quick. Nice end to a beautiful animal.
Now we're gonna get busy.
Yeah, now we're gonna carry him out whole. Let's do it.
So we phoned Andrew and Grant and sent them our position, and then together Gordon and I proceeded in removing the Sambar's internal organs and the head, found a suitable pole, mounted the deer, and started our hike back to the 4-wheel drive. Now thankfully Andrew and Grant met us about a third of the way down the mountain and helped out, because I tell you what, it's hard enough on the body to carry out a couple of Sambar legs or shoulders. carrying out an entire animal is brutal and requires an endurance and stamina that I don't have, to be honest. My shoulders hurt for days, but we got there in the end and hung up the animal in the cool room ready for the next day's butchering and cooking course. For me, community, learning, and food are all intimately linked, and so it was an amazing experience to take an animal from pasture to plate, not just for myself or my family, but to teach and feed a community of people who want to learn. Honestly, it's an experience that I'm sure I'll be reflecting on for quite some time. Now, I was a little bit sneaky and kept the heart. My son Eli has been pestering me for months now to bring back a heart so that we could cook it together. So we bloodied our hands when I returned, cleaned and cooked the Sambar heart, and let me tell you, it was delicious. I'm not even just saying that either. It was the best venison I've ever had in my life. Juicy, full of flavor, like the perfect steak. So that's it. First up, if you haven't checked out the Australian Hunters Club, I highly recommend that you go and do that. Find some like-minded hunters in your area. Go on hunting trips like this. Also, I've dropped links below to both Gordon's guided hunting services as well as the Bold Chef's cooking workshops. Also, if you're a member of the hunting club, you actually get 10% off both of those, so it's worth joining. Hopefully you've been out for a hunt yourself, and I see you in another video soon. Bye.